You know how it is. You've had a long day and you finally get a chance to sit down on the sofa and just breathe. You put on a show and then it starts to creep in. Not just a little thought, but a loud, demanding, all-consuming craving for something sweet and salty. And you know it's in the pantry right now. And that's when the negotiations start in your head.
Just have it. It's just easier. You deserve it. We can be good tomorrow or Monday. For real this time.
Does that sound familiar? It's a struggle many of us go through every single night. And if we're being honest, it's a struggle we most often lose. The impulse feels instant and the reward is literally seconds away. But what if I told you that you could completely turn the craving around in the time it takes for you to watch this video? What if there's a simple yet almost counterintuitive strategy that could interrupt that whole cycle and put you back in charge? In this video, I want to share with you one strategy that has completely changed my relationship with food, the 10-minute rule. It's a method that stops my junk food cravings in its tracks, but more than that, it gives me back the feeling of control. I split this video into 5 sections. You'll find the timestamps below, and if any of this resonates with you, I'm doing free one-to-one coaching calls at the moment to help you ditch the diet cycle for good. The link's in the description. Right, let's get into it. Section 1, why just saying no is a losing battle. So before we get into the rule, I think we need to talk about what we're really up against here. And the enemy isn't the cookie or the chips. It's definitely not you. And it's not about having no willpower. The real enemy is how small the gap is between wanting something and getting it. In the world that we live in today, that gap is almost zero. Just think about it for a second. Our ancestors had to work hard for their treats, like climbing a tree to get honey. There was friction built into their lives. And for us, we can have a pizza delivered to our door in less than 30 minutes with just a few taps on our phone. Our environment is basically designed for us to fail. We are surrounded by what scientists call hyper-palatable foods. These are foods that are engineered with a perfect amount of sugar, fat, and salt that our brains just can't resist. The moment that you even think about that food, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is all about wanting and anticipating something good. It's the go-get-it chemical that tells your brain a reward is on the way, which creates a powerful urge to get that pleasure. This isn't some character flaw, it's your ancient survival instincts being hijacked by modern food science. The emotional, impulsive part of your brain that lights up demanding to be satisfied right now. And that's why just telling yourself no can feel like you're trying to stop a tidal wave with a fucking sieve. You're fighting against a really powerful biological and psychological current. Your willpower is a limited resource and it gets drained all day long by work, stress, and all the little decisions that you make. By 9 p.m, your willpower is running on empty. You feel guilty, like you've failed, but you're not broken. You just need a better strategy. You need to stop trying to fight the wave and learn how to surf it instead. Section 2, the solution. So this brings me to the strategy that's been a total game changer for me. It sounds almost too simple, but the effect is huge, and here it is. When a really intense craving hits, you just have to wait 10 minutes. You set a timer. That's all it is. You're not telling yourself no, never. You're not making a huge life-altering promise. You're just telling yourself, not right now. It's like making a little deal. If you still really want that food after 10 minutes, just have it. But here's where the magic happens. That 10-minute window isn't just about sitting there waiting for that feeling to pass. It's about actively doing something to interrupt the craving. Research suggests a lot of cravings are temporary and only last a few minutes. So if you can distract yourself, you can manage them. This rule works because it targets craving's biggest weakness, the need for immediacy. You're putting a little friction, a little bit of a delay back into the impulse action cycle. That 10-minute pause gives your more logical, rational part of your brain a chance to catch up. And when the emotional brain is screaming, eat the cookie now, the 10-minute rule allows your thinking brain to walk into the room and gently ask, hey, are you sure about this? But instead of just thinking about your long-term goals, studies also show it's better to think about short-term consequences. So your brain can ask, how am I going to feel in an hour? A little bloated, a little guilty. Is it really worth it tonight? By creating that small buffer of time, you shift the power away from the impulsive part of your brain and back to the conscious part of your brain. You're not a victim of the craving anymore. You're just observing it. Section 3, what to do in those 10 minutes. Of course, the first few times of doing this, that 10-minute wait might feel like it's taking forever. Just sitting there, staring at the clock, thinking about food is not going to work. The key is to have a few pre-planned but simple distractions ready to go. The goal is to get your mind and your body busy with pretty much anything else. Here are 3 easy but powerful things to do during your 10-minute wait. The first is to hydrate and re-evaluate. This is my number 1 go-to. The second a craving hits, before anything else, drink a big old glass of water. Our bodies are surprisingly bad at telling the difference between hunger and thirst. Sometimes, what feels like a desperate need for a salty snack might just be your body asking for water. So, drink the water and then start your timer. The simple act not only helps potential dehydration, but it also physically fills your stomach a bit, which can really take the edge off a craving. The second, change your environment, get up and move. The sofa is often a trigger zone for eating without thinking. Breaking that connection by just leaving the room, walking into the kitchen, stepping outside for some fresh air for a minute, or even just walking around the block. A short walk can be enough to help reduce food cravings. Simply changing your scenery can reset your brain and break the spell that the craving has on you. Motion changes emotion. You're creating a new physical mental state, which makes it a lot harder for the old cravings to stick around. Third, engage your brain with a simple task. Cravings love it when you're not focused. So, give your brain something else to do. It doesn't have to be anything big. Do a quick 5-minute chore that you've been putting off, like loading the dishwasher. Chew a piece of sugar-free gum. Call a friend or just text somebody. Do a crossword puzzle or play a quick game on your phone. The whole point is to find something that needs just enough attention to shift your focus away from the food that you're thinking about. Pick one of these, set your 10-minute timer, and just see what happens. You're not trying to fight the feeling. You're just redirecting it. Section 4, becoming a craving detective. We all have those specific things that seem to trigger our cravings. For me, it's usually stress and being bored late at night. What is it for you? What's your biggest trigger? Let me know in the comments below. This leads to a deeper way of using the 10-minute rule. The rule is your first line of defense. But to really feel in control, you need to become a detective for your own cravings. The goal isn't just to get through the cravings, but to actually understand them. During your 10-minute pause, after you've had some water or just started your walk, just ask yourself a couple of questions. Don't judge the answers, just notice them. Am I actually physically hungry, or am I feeling something else? Am I bored, stressed, sad, lonely? Cravings often have nothing to do with hunger. They're about wanting to change how we feel emotionally. That knowledge is true power. It turns what feels like a moment of weakness into a useful piece of information. Once you know the real reason behind the craving, you can start to work on the root cause instead of trying to fix the symptom with food. If you're really struggling with these issues, you can visit my store for personalized one-on-one coaching. The link's in the description. Section 5, progress over perfection. You know, when you really think about this, the rule isn't just about the 10 minutes. And it's not even about never having a piece of cake again. It's about rebuilding trust with yourself. Every single time you successfully use this strategy, you're sending a really powerful message to your brain that I am in control. My long-term goals matter more to me than this temporary impulse. I still remember when I first started trying this. My biggest weakness was always salty snacks late at night when I was playing video games. The cravings felt so physical, like a real need. The first couple of nights I tried this, the 10 minutes felt like torture. But I had a plan. I would get up, have a glass of water, and just mooch about a bit. The first time the timer went off and I realised that I didn't want the bag of crisps anymore, it was a huge light bulb moment. I honestly knew then that I was onto something. The one simple act of delaying things creates a positive feedback loop. It builds what's called self-efficacy, which is just a belief in your own ability to handle things. It's not about trying to be perfect. There are going to be days when that timer goes off and you still want the food, and that's perfectly okay. The rule is designed to allow for that. This isn't about being restrictive. It's about making a conscious decision rather than an impulsive reaction. And you can make this rule even stronger by backing it up with healthier habits. When you consistently get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, for example, you are much less likely to crave high-calorie, unhealthy foods. A lack of sleep messes with hormones that control hunger, making you want more junk food. When you eat meals that are balanced in protein, carbs, and fiber, your blood sugar stays stable, which helps prevent those crashes that send you searching for a quick sugar fix. The 10-minute rule is your tool, and these habits are what keep that tool sharp. So the next time that craving hits and you feel that large, demanding urge, don't argue with it, don't fight it, and definitely don't feel guilty about it. Just make a deal with it, give it 10 minutes. This simple rule is so much more than a trick to avoid junk food. It's a way to prove to yourself that for one 10-minute period of time, you are not a slave to your impulses. It's a training ground for self-control, a way to understand your own emotions better, and a clear path forward to reclaiming your own power. You are not broken. You just need a moment to let your best self catch up. So here's your challenge for this week. The next time a craving hits and you want to pick one strategy, either drink a glass of water, change your environment, or engage your brain, set a 10-minute timer. Then come back to this video and comment what your friction was. And if you're ready to build more systems that help you win without relying on willpower, make sure that you subscribe and check out my other videos on how to design your environment for success. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.